Look at 2022 question with reference to Indian history. Consider the following pairs: historical person and known as Aryadeva, whether he was a Jaina scholar; Dignaga, whether a Buddhist scholar; then again Nathamuni, whether a Vaishnava scholar. Okay, so Aryadeva, Dignaga we talked about. Aryadeva is again a Buddhist scholar, not Jaina scholar. Okay, that is Vaishnava scholar is fine. Nathamuni, Dignaga is a Buddhist scholar. How many pairs are correct? Only 2 pairs are correct. This pair is correct and this pair is correct. Only 2 pairs. Okay, and now we can see contribution of Aryadeva, Dignaga as well as Nathamuni. Okay, so we can look at this particular their contribution too, because sometimes the question can be made out of this one. Aryadeva, that is 3rd century CE, a Buddhist monk, belonged to Mahayana school, and within Mahayana school we can talk about Madhyamika philosophical school. Okay, and disciple of Nagarjuna, also sometimes Nagasena also, and he, according to certain sources, he is from Sri Lanka, not from India. Okay, but his writings, okay, his writings is we can say 400 verses in English, which is called as, that is we can say Katushataka, okay, or we can say Chatushataka. Okay, so that is different pronunciation could be, and at the same time Dvadasamukha Shastra. Okay, so that is again there. Okay, so it is Aryadeva, that is again a Buddhist monk too. And then again known for his association with Nalanda monastery. We talked about Vajrayana monastery, that is Vikramashila monastery, but Aryadeva is majorly associated with Nalanda. Okay, that is Chatushataka probably, because 400 Chatushataka, okay, that could be there. Okay, so Dvada Samukha Shastra, okay, so that is there, and that is related to Aryadeva. Okay, now they ask the names, they can ask for later their particular works. Dignaga, okay, 480-540 CE, all these are AD time period. Again, Buddhist scholar of Pudgalavada, one of the sects of Buddhism. Pudgala means matter. Okay, so living things, matter we can talk about, that is non-living things also. From Kanchipuram, that is from South India, and student of Vasubandhu, one of the Buddhist scholars again. Again, so many times the questions revolved around Buddhism philosophies too. And his philosophy is therein, that is Pramana Samukhaya. Okay, expounded in this particular work. And one of the Buddhist founders of Indian logic, also called as Etu Vidya. Okay, so one of the Buddhist founders of Indian logic system. Okay, and Dignaga thought influenced the later Buddhist philosophers. The later Buddhist philosophers which just came, that were majorly influenced by Dignaga, and that is belonged to around 5th and 6th century AD. They can ask for Maithi following also, they can ask for chronological questions also. Okay, and his philosophies in this particular work, Pramana Samukhaya, and one of the founders of Buddhist founders of Indian logic, which is called as Etu Vidya. Okay, and who are the other Buddhist philosophers who got influenced by Dignaga, that is Dharma Kirti, and also Hindu thinkers of Nyaya school. Not just influenced only Buddhist philosophers, he also influenced, the Nyaya school was quite old, and the later Nyaya philosophy was also got influenced by the writings of, or the philosophies that is expounded by Dignaga in this particular work, that is Pramana Samukhaya. Okay, then Nathamuni is a Vaishnava scholar, 823 to 953, known as Sri Ranganathamuni. Okay, he is a Vaishnava scholar, and that is a Vaishnava theologian, we can say, that scholar we can say, and he compiled Nalaira Divya Prabandham, that is Tamil verse composed by 12 Alvars. Okay, so Divya Prabandham, he compiled all the verses of this 12 Alvars. That is, Alvars is a concept related to, we can say, that is Tamil Bhakti, Vaishnava Alvars, and they can say Shaiva Nayanars. Okay, Vaishnava Alvars as well as Shaiva Nayanars, that is the Vaishnava science, and author of Yoga Rahasya as well as Nyaya Tattva. So this is written by Nathamuni. Okay, so again, now they asked about the scholar's name, they can ask for their particular works, the works of Aryadeva, works of Dignaga, and works of Nathamuni. And again, consider the first of Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, like we talk about Acharyas like Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, and then again Ramanujacharya, and out of these Acharyas, that is he considered as the first of all these Vaishnava Acharyas, that is Sri Ranganathamuni or Nathamuni. Okay, and then look at this 2022 question with reference to Indian history. Consider the following texts: Netti Prakarana, then Parisishta Parvan, then again Avadana Shataka, and again Tri Shashti Lakshana Mahapurana. Okay, so which of above are Jaina texts? You just have to know Avadana Shataka, because one question was asked in 2023 related to Avadana Shataka, not directly but indirectly, about the stupas concept. Okay, stupas are pre-Buddhist in origin, this kind of question that is directly related to what is mentioned in Avadana Shataka, that is a Buddhist literature. So you just have to know about Buddhist literature, that is the third statement, you have to eliminate. 3 is there. Okay, again 3 again, 3 again, which is left, that is 2 and 4 also. 2 and 4. Okay, so answer should be B. And we talked about Avadhana Shataka in our prelims exclusive program too. Okay, so that is, now we will see what is Netti Prakarana, Parisista Parvan, Avadhana Shataka, as well as Trisashti Lakshana, Mahapurana. Now Netti Prakarana, that's a Buddhist scripture we can talk about. Okay, so that is including Kuddaka Nikaya of Pali. Kuddaka Nikaya we talked about, I can keep repeating about it, part of Sutta Pitaka. Okay, then again belong to Theravada Buddhism, this particular book, Theravada, that is Hinayana Buddhism. And ascribed to Buddha's disciple, Kakhana, maybe, I don't know, pronunciation again could be different. I try to desist from pronunciation, which I find it difficult to pronounce. Okay, so with all due respect to that one. So it is ascribed to Buddha's disciple, Kakhana. And then again probably resided at the first council. They say that this particular Netti Prakarana probably resided because first council everything was orally compiled. So that is the reason we can say it was resided at the first Buddhist council. And Buddha Ghosha, 5th century philosopher, quotes, he has taken quotes from this particular book. So it is, there is a reason to say that one, it was older than Buddha Ghosha. Older than Buddha Ghosha. Then again Avadhana Shataka, that is again it is a Buddhist text, century of noble dudes, it is called as Avadhana Shataka, that is Avadhana. Shataka means 100. It's an anthology, collection of poems in Sanskrit, of course, but Buddhist text, but it's in Sanskrit. Because later we know the Buddhist certain schools adopted Sanskrit. And it includes 100 Buddhist legends. Okay, it's belong to 2nd to 5th century C. Okay, we can say that is around 200 AD to that is 500 AD. Okay, that could be there. Exact dates is quite very difficult to pinpoint. And mentions about commemorative aspects of stupa. It's to commemorate certain events, stupa was built, and that is mentioned in Avadhana Shataka. And that exactly the word that is given in 2023 prelims, that is stupas are votive and commemorative. These words, go and check in 2023 prelims question paper. And belong to Sarvastivada school, also called as Moola Sarvastivada school. Okay, so Sarvastivada, again one question was asked about Sarvastivada, that is Sautrantika and Sammitya. So look at how the questions are interrelated, how they are being coming from one certain area. That then again Trisashti Lakshana Mahapuranam, this is a Jainist text. Okay, Jaina text, largely composed by Jinasena, one of the Jaina scholar, completed by his pupil Gunabhadra. Okay, so 2 persons contribution is there during the rule of Rashtrakuta ruler Amogavarsha. That is there. Okay, so it's 9th century AD. It's around 9th century AD. And then again Mahapurana consists of 2 parts. That is Trisashti Lakshana Mahapurana. There is the first part by Jinasena and second part by Gunabhadra. Okay, first part is Adi Purana written by Acharya Jinasena, and the second part, and that is Uttara Purana, which composed by Gunabhadra. They can give these hints also to identify this particular textbook. That can also be done. Okay, and again Parisishti Parvan. Okay, again is a Sanskrit Mahakavya by Hemachandra, and is a 12th century poet during Solanki Rajput ruler Kumarapala. It's again Jainism again. Okay, that known as Stavira Vali Charitra, that is lives of the Jaina elders, this particular book. And then I can give details about the histories of the earliest Jaina teachers also, the Jaina Tirthankara, Jaina Acharyas and everything. And information about the political history of ancient India, like it talks about almost most of it. Chanakya, Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka, and it also talks about Udayin, Samprati, Shrenika, Ajatashatru, Bimbisara. Okay, then again Nandas, Ajatashatru is called as Kunika, Bimbisara is called as Shrenika. So different terms were being used, and it gives information about the Jainist elders also, as well as information about certain political history of India too. Okay, so then again look at 2023 question. Devi Chandraguptam Billana, Amira Mahakavya Nayachandra Suri, Milindappana Nagarjuna Nagasena, Niti Vyakyamrita by Somadeva Suri. So how many of the pairs are correctly matched? Only 1, only 2, only 3, and this is wrong. Devi Chandraguptam is by a different person. Okay, we'll come to that person. And again Amira Mahakavya is correct, and Milindappana is correct. Nagarjuna Nagasena. Okay, sometimes they use interchangeably. You can go and check NCERTs. Both names are interchangeably used. Niti Vyakyamrita, that is Somadeva Suri. Okay, answer option is C. Only 3 are correctly matched. Only 3 are correctly matched. Now, who wrote Devi Chandraguptam? That is Sanskrit. It was a political drama. It is done by Vishaka Datta, also called as Vishaka Deva also. Okay, so what is this political drama? Written in 6th century AD, and that it talks about the Ramagupta, and he surrendered his queen Dhruva Devi to Shakas. Shakas were enemies of Guptas, and now Chandragupta, Ramagupta's younger brother, Chandragupta II, enters the enemy camp, and disguised as queen, and he kills the enemy and rescues Draupadi. That is written in Devi Chandraguptam. Okay, so that is the theme of Devi Chandraguptam, we can say. And then we can talk about Amira Mahakavya. That is 15th century. It's a Sanskrit epic poem about Amira. Okay, that is written by Jain scholar Naya Chandra Suri. Amira, one of the famous Rajput rulers, the biographer of legendary biographer of 13th century Chamana king Amira. It is written in 15th century, but it is about Amira and Chamana. That is one of the Rajput kings. And takes attributes to Amira's defeat against Alauddin, to betrayal of his officer. Again, we can talk about certain questions which is being asked in recent times. Certain relation to about Alauddin Khalji and his defeat of certain Rajput families are asked. So that is how we can anticipate. We can look at the common interrelation. Some of the topics we have read, some of the answer option that directly being related to Alauddin Khalji's invasions of certain Rajput families. We can expect one question. That is how probabilities. We have to play the game of probabilities. Nothing. Again, Milinda Panna. That is philosophical dialogue in Pali. That is between Indo-Greek ruler Menander as well as the monk Nagasena or Nagarjuna. And it is about the dialogue. It's the questions of Milinda. It is actually, and Milinda, that is asked the question, answered by Nagarjuna, and he got impressed by the answers. Then he converted into Buddhism. It is between 1st century BC to 1st century C. That is when it is written. And Niti Vyakyamrita, again by Somadeva Suri, a South Indian Jaina monk, about 10th century C. Okay, so it means the nectar of the science of polity, a treatise on statecraft, about political system. Okay, about how to build, we can say, a dynasty, an empire. Okay, so how to protect it, that one, and about the skills aspect of it. That is in Niti Vyakyamrita, and it is Sanskrit. It is in verses form. Okay, it's a poetic form. Okay, so that is by Somadeva Suri. Okay, so we talked about the themes of all these particular textbooks also, and the author of the literary work called us, and also the author of literary work, that is Yashastra Tilaka. That is Somadeva Suri. He wrote Yashas Tilaka. Okay, so this was also written by them. Okay, and Billana, and that is one of the answer option which was there. It's a Kashmiri poet, but he came to Karnataka during the time period of, we can say, Western Chalukya, also called as Kalyani Chalukya. You can get confusion. So Kalyani Chalukyas. Okay, so he left Kashmir and is known for the poem Chauri Shurata Panchashika, that 50 verses by a thief. Okay, and then he came to Karnataka during the Kalyani Chalukyas. That is, Kalyani is a place in Karnataka, and he was given patronage by Vikramaditya VI, and he wrote a book on Vikramaditya VI, that is Vikramanka Deva Charita by Billana. He is basically a Kashmiri poet of 11th century. Okay, 1000 to 1100.